This committee, this is,
8:35.
8:35. If everybody read the minutes of the additions, deletions,
No, roll call.
oh, roll call, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Got it.
Okay, Lourdes Corvo.
Here.
Okay, I'm here, Jessica Joseph, Jacqueline Rivera,
Yes.
Maria Perdomo,
Here.
Maria Planas.
Here.
Omaira Bombos,
Here.
Pedro Fiallo,
Here.
okay, Tomara Castilla,
Haven't heard from it.
Sarah Suarez is not here, Luis Suarez is excused, Nancy Rogers not here, Rosario excused, Alejandra Alonso. Okay, and you said your name again?
Maria Borges.
Can you just spell your last name for me, please?
B as in boy, ORGES.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Yeah.
So, any additions, deletions, or corrections to the minute?
Dottie, the May 3rd minutes were not included in your last packet, so I'm gonna pass out additional copies of them.
Okay.
You could take them.
Thank you.
What is her name?
Nothing.
Oh,
I was here the last meeting.
okay, Maria's telling me that she was here at the last meeting since I wasn't here. Her name is not on the roll call list, so I'm gonna add her name to the roll call for what is this, the June 7th, is the June 7th?
Yeah.
Okay, but, so are we reviewing May or June minutes?
I'll start with May first.
Okay, so let's start with the May minutes, thank you.
Make a motion to approve May minutes.
Exactly.
Okay, your motion, yours is second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Public comments?
You
Wait,
you wanted June minutes?
June minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Also, I'll make a motion to approve June minutes.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Jackie.
Presentations?
All in favor,
Huh?
all in favor, June minutes.
Oh, the June minute. Okay,
So Pedro motion,
all in favor?
Aye.
I've got company this week and I have not rested, so I'm not here today. Is there any presentations? Okay, treasurer's report.
Rosario is not here. I reviewed the handout that everybody received as part of the minutes. And I had some questions. Because we got a GL account detail. And I'm not sure what SPONS means. Do you know what that means?
Give me a second, so I can follow it.
It's on page 1 of the GL account detail.
is it page 9?
Oh, yes.
Yes, page 9.
Okay, so you'll see it says, so this is. So page 7 is just pretty much the summary of your entire budget.
Right.
And then page 9, where you'll see it says contributions and donations, that's all the money that's come in. That's all money that you guys have received. So that's a breakdown. At the last meeting, you guys said that you weren't aware of all your sponsors. So this list is taken directly from our system. These are all the dollars that have been received and deposited to your account.
Okay, so but do you know what SPONS stands?
That's for sponsors.
Oh, it's the general
Yeah,
sponsor.
some of them say SPEV. I don't know why they do one or the other. It's for special events, but this is all money that's come in.
Yeah, but if you look up your comments.
I'm sorry, you,
look at it,
Maria. You have to raise your hand. And you're not a member yet, so, okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Any more comments? So we collected 11,305.92.
To date, this is what you guys have collected. Now, keep in mind, this is for everything related to elderly affairs, so this means between healthcare, bingos, senior socials, all of that. This is all the money that you guys have received this fiscal year so far.
So so that would be $12,800.
No, this is $11,355.
Okay, on page 11,
Okay,
it says 12,800.
so this is, just so you guys know, this is a copy of a manual tab. Last meeting that we had, that Councilwoman Ruano said was here, she mentioned something about when she was a committee member, she would keep like a log of things, money that was coming in, money that was moving out. So this is an example of contributions and donations, a manual log, and the reason that I wanna clarify that, you'll see that I have a tab here that says payment received. So there's some money that maybe has been received, you'll see that it's X. If it doesn't show on Munis, as I mentioned last time, it's because things need to be reconciled. So if it comes in through PayPal, PayPal only gets reconciled towards the end of the month. So that's a possibility that between 11,355 and 12,800, that's the amount of dollars that haven't been reconciled into the system yet. But because I kept the manual tab of it, I can tell you guys, you have 12,800.
That's what I wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
That our real total is 12,800.
Right, so that's why it's important that a manual tab is kept of this, and that's what your treasurer would do if you guys want to have 100% real-time number at every single meeting. So I can work with whoever's going to do that and let them know, when the sponsors come in. I know as of a few months ago, you guys requested that if a sponsor comes in, I send you guys a form that they sign, and I know it's been sent to you guys as it's coming,
Well,
so.
Rosario is our treasurer. She's been out.
I understand. So if she has any questions, again, I can provide any receipts, if they want even more detail from what the line items you're seeing. You guys can ask me and I can give those details to you.
I just want to ask you a question. It's a way that we can get a flyer by next week. The event, the senior, Mr. Senior.
Yeah, I believe I shared copies with all of you via email, but I can print some if you need them.
Please, because I was gonna talk to somebody on next Wednesday.
I'll get to that.
See that.
But any more questions, Lourdes? Because you've been kind of working on this since Rosario's been on. You have any other questions?
Right, I know that we had asked for a line item of the health fair, and you gave it to us. And I had some questions, but of course I left them in my house. I'll ask them at the next meeting.
If you want, so that I can be prepared for the next meeting, because if it is a lot of detail, I'm gonna need time to pull the information for you. If you want, if you think about it beforehand, just send me an email and I can get those to you.
Okay. I can't send the email to everybody so that they all are prepared for the next meeting, correct?
But if you want to send it to me.
No, I'm
just I
happy-
can give you the
No,
details.
I understand that. I'm just asking, I just want to confirm, I cannot send that email to everybody.
You shouldn't directly, but if there's anything important that you need me to send on your behalf, I can do that.
Because we may have to vote on it.
No, it wouldn't be something that we would vote on, sorry about that.
Um,
It would be more for everybody would know, and everybody would get the response. Here's my question, here's the answer from Isles, so that when we have the meeting, we can discuss what the question, if there anybody had another question or somebody has an additional question. But we can't do that, correct? I just want to confirm.
No,
that.
you guys should not be discussing anything that's gonna come up for discussion or vote in advance, outside of a public meeting.
Okay,
Again, if there's anything important, we shouldn't make habit of it, but if it's anything important that you need me to distribute to the group
No,
before the
it-
meeting, I can do so,
it was
with
more,
blind copying everybody.
it was more for everybody to have time to analyze it before we came to the meeting.
Yeah, if there's anything you want me to send, I can send it to you. I'll send it to them on your behalf.
Okay.
I have a question. Looking at the budget, was everything transferred into the accounts and reviewing the June 27 minutes? Has that been taken care of?
So anytime we're over $700 of transfers, that's a adjustment that has to go through council. So there hasn't been a council meeting yet, no. But you guys, that will be done at the next council meeting, which is on Tuesday, next week.
And
Next Tuesday.
we didn't approve the June 27 minutes. We approved the June 7th minutes. So I'd like to go back to whenever we get a chance on the agenda, go back to that.
Why don't we just go ahead and do it now?
Okay, so in your packet, we also have the June 27th minutes, which was an emergency meeting.
Right.
So we'd like to get a,
Those two were tied together, so that's why,
just for the minutes, I just want to make sure I get it down.
okay, no, that's okay.
Okay, can I make a motion to approve?
Well, that everybody, the June 27th meeting was mostly discussed with the fund, what we had and how we were gonna handle it. Because as long as I've been on the committee, we're putting more responsibility on that part of it. And so that's why we had the meeting to discuss exactly how we were gonna handle it. Lourdes, you did most of the talking, were you wanna? How,
Well, the minutes speak, I think, for themselves.
Okay.
So I think all we have to do is just vote.
okay,
Yeah,
does
I'll make a
anybody
motion.
have any questions on it before we vote? Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve the 27 minutes.
second. I know. Somebody second.
Second. Thank you, Jack.
Good
We
morning.
need to vote. Dottie, we need to vote.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're not waiting for him.
Oh,
Right, all in favor?
Aye.
Yes, no?
Thank you.
All right, under old business, I'm not.
Sorry,
I'm
to
thinking-
interrupt. I just want to make sure, I want to highlight to you guys because there is additional attachments on this packet. So if you guys could go through them, you'll see that there is on page 12. That is the form that gets filled out anytime there's a transfer of funds. So you can keep that for your record. That's the money that will be moved and you'll see from what line item to which line item it will be moved to. Obviously, this is based on the minutes, but just so you guys know that this is the copy that goes to the budget office.
Thank you, Ayo.
And we're moving 5,063 home.
And while we're still on treasurer's report, I just want to include in there, so I would already be keeping in mind that 5,000 is going to be moved into the meet and eat line items, and just think about how that may not even be enough for events going forward. That's something for you guys to think about as we're quickly approaching our next thing.
I'll bring that up. Okay. Going to old business. Results of the Calder race track event. Pardon?
Were there any presentations?
Okay.
Were there any
presentation?
presentations?
No,
Oh,
I said that. and I went-
I didn't hear it. I
Okay.
apologize.
I don't know, it's, the results from the Calder racetrack, it was a fun trip. I think it was too long. Everybody ran out of money too fast. Cause we had it like from, I forget, we left here at 10:30 or something like that.
3:00.
And it was to 3, and it was way too long. So in the future, I think we need to make the trip a little shorter. Especially when they're gambling, when they're using their money. I mean, they didn't complain, not one of them complained, but there were a lot of just standing around, just looking, and somebody was standing all around us, so it was like, okay, we're leaving at 3. Why don't you enjoy this here, enjoy that there? I think we need to just to shorten that trip. Now, like you can't shorten the ball games or anything like that, but that trip maybe is just a little shorter. Maybe we leave at about 2 or 1:30, somewhere around there. Just enough time for them to get out and have fun. They do enjoy the trip, but the trip was not sold out. So we need to get the word out there that we can accept anybody on these trips as long as we're not sold out. And so far, we haven't been sold out. Yes, ma'am.
How many people went?
16, 17,
23, I think.
23?
Yeah, I think that was the head count
I was never.
on the
told.
bus coming and 23 going, 21 coming back, going because you took someone home in the car with you.
They
Remember?
came with me. Whoever went with me came home with me. So they went.
You drove someone home with
Okay,
you.
all right, Jack, thank you for letting me know.
Modi and
It's
her,
still wait, the trip, the bus holds 50.
Oh, yeah.
So they could sit anywhere they wanted. And I just think we're wasting our money if we're not gonna fill those buses up.
And we have to set up a
it's
deadline,
mostly empty.
when that we wanna start, taking people from the, because we have to set up a deadline maybe 1 or 2 days before.
Is there any way we can get a smaller bus?
We could, I will send you guys the quote of last time, but honestly, it's not, I mean, it is, you're obviously saving some money, but it's very little. Like, it's maybe like $200, but I will get you that.
Dollars to.
So it's it's $200 a trip or
Per trip.
per trip, so that would be, we have 3 trips, that'd be 600.
Yeah, about
It's about $600.
Isle, do you know how many people that bus holds?
55 is the one that.
No,
we're
the
currently-
small one, the smaller.
Oh, the small one, I have to double check.
85, I think it was. We used it before.
It can't be 85 on
No,
the. side.
35.
35 for the sake.
185 too.
Thank you, Nancy.
So I make a motion that we get the smaller bus for these field trips. Because we're not filling it. And even if it's only $200, it's still $200 that we
I'm
don't
not
need.
saying that, and they tell me no, because we have to pay anyway the same.
Well, just so you guys are clear, in terms of the field trip, the next one that you guys
I am
have,
going
that's
to
already
go
been
more.
sold.
Need
So
a
at this
second
point,
for it.
that was
Nancy,
done.
You need a second.
But she's explaining something first, okay? Thank you.
So you guys can do that for the future. Just keep it in mind when you book the future field trips. Right now, whatever's booked is already booked with that 55.
Okay, Nancy, you can mention, go ahead.
I apologize.
No,
and
that's
I
okay.
See, I second motion.
All right,
to
thank you.
go
All in
small
favor?
bus.
Aye.
All right. Motion approved.
I go all the time. I don't see many people of the committee there to watch everybody. I never fail to go, but I ain't going no more.
Okay, I'm sorry, Jeff, you had that experience.
Because I go to help and I'm responsible to count the people.
It is.
Only one.
It's not easy. It's not an easy job. I can tell you that. I used to do it when I could go into the game, but and I appreciate all the hard work you did for that. So thank you.
You're gonna miss me.
All right, the EAC,
Yes, that's for sure.
the EAC bingo on the 21st and the 28th. I'd like during the summer just to do one bingo a month. Because as usual, the same people are coming there and helping us do all the work. And now we've got a shortage. This last bingo was so confusing. I don't know what happened. We had it, the room is set up, but then people came in. And I don't know, I never got a list of the ones. And I called Betty the next day and I says, could you give me a copy of the list? She said, sorry, I don't have. I said, when Al comes in, would you ask her to give me a copy? I left the message. I never got a copy of who was there and who wasn't, because it got confusing at the end. And I told people, I'll get with you. And I couldn't get with them because I didn't have a copy
A
of.
list of the ones that were currently going to that event.
Yes,
Okay, I can print that for you right now and email it to you. I believe I emailed it to you. It was just maybe not printed, but I can email you the
No, I
copy of the old
I
one right
didn't
now.
get a copy of, because I would have printed it and then taken it, because usually I sit with you to check them in. And I think you were ready. I got there early with I don't know. who
Yeah,
was
that's
there.
a possibility.
And then I was over,
Yes,
I went up to
yes.
the front to make sure people were getting in and who was gonna be responsible for what aisle. And I never really got a copy of it. And I said, gee, how do I call these people? Some of them called me. And I said, you'll have to call town hall. I'm not sure. Cause we hadn't, I think just one during the summer because of everything that's going on and how hard the people that attend these events are working. I don't know how anybody else feels about it. I think just one a month. I have a sponsor for the last month, the last I don't remember the date, June the 20 something, and I have one for, July, and I have one for August. The August one is gonna be totally free. It's not gonna cost us anything. It's can't remember his name, but he's with Dr. Limon. Pedro and I met with him and he's gonna give us the whole thing free. Sponsorship,
Avitrola.
yeah,
It's
I've got his name.
it's one next to Latin America. It's a
Yeah.
new restaurant opens.
And he's even gonna give us, I offered to buy gift cards, he says, no, I'm giving it all to you. So that one is gonna be free to us. So I think just because of the same people are working the events all the time, we like a break. So I think we need one in July and one in August, that would be the last one of each.
July, the 20, Sergio already agreed to help us. We only have to give him $300.
Okay,
He will
and
give
we'll
us
get a
everything,
sponsor for that, we'll look.
but we just got,
Yeah, well, we
That's
can
why
give it to him since we're not doing one, the first, we can pay for that 300. And we're not doing,
but he'll give us everything. He will give us keyword sandwich.
Please keep in mind, if you guys are gonna lower your bingos, just keep in mind, maybe you should keep it at the date where a sponsor has already been confirmed.
We have July and, I think we have the one in July and one in August.
Right, but we were scheduled for 2 a month,
Yeah, I
and
know.
now you guys wanna do
One.
1 a month, so I'm telling you to keep the date for where you already have a sponsor.
Oh, yes, oh, yes.
So please refer to the list that I gave you guys and keep that date. So that we don't have to, go back to the sponsor and tell them, oh, that date was canceled. That would be my suggestion, but if the committee chooses to move the date, that's on you guys.
Right now, I think July, the last week of each month is all right. What we have planned.
So
I don't know of any other sponsors that we've had.
that's why I'm telling you guys to refer to the list I gave you that has the sponsors. So you'll see that there's a sponsor for July 26th, and then in August, it's the first. It's the first bingo. That would have been your first bingo. That's where they're confirmed. My suggestion would be to keep it. If the committee wants to move it, that's fine. We can just go back to the sponsor, but I'm just telling you to be mindful of that.
So then we already have,
we're that.
so then we already have sponsors for the next July dates and August dates. Is that what? I'm
Yeah, so
looking
for
at?
July,
12.
We're gonna be working them all then.
I'm looking at this.
for July, yeah.
Yeah.
For July 26th, you have a sponsor.
Okay, so it's Vista.
For August 26th, you have 2 sponsors. Sorry, for July 26th, you have 1 sponsor. And then for September 9th, you have 1 sponsor. So those are the dates I'm telling you to keep in mind.
How much money did July 26 gonna pay?
So the July 26th is $300.
That's it.
We go back to the 500 that you guys requested once we go back to the full bingos.
$300, that's it, so we need, so we got it already. So.
And then I don't want to confuse you guys, where it says August 26th, $600, August 26th, 800,
Yeah.
you'll see that has a different code. Because the meet and eats are METET, SS are your senior socials. So that's your August 26th, Mr. and Miss Senior Miami Lakes, that's where that money's going to.
That's what.
Okay. But yes, Lourdes.
According to this, on August 26th, we have 600 for the bingo.
No, that's incorrect. I just explained that SS.
Oh, I'm sorry.
means
No,
Mr.
I
and
was
Miss Senior
trying to
Miami Lakes.
Follow the line.
Good,
Sorry.
Yeah.
Good.
So
And actually, I was incorrect in saying, August 9th as well, because that's for a forum, that's your legal forum. So really for upcoming bingos, your last one that we have confirmed the sponsor right now is July 26th.
If you give us $300, it's it.
Wait 1 minute. She's had her hand up. Go ahead.
What about July 12? It says Caro. And that's the other bingo.
And
That's
for
the first
July
bingo.
12, I'm jumping, yes.
For July, it's July 12th and July 26th.
Yeah, so that's a-
Bingo, So those two are.
Those are two confirmed. Either you guys either keep them or we go back to one of the sponsors and tell them, hey, we're only gonna have one and we'll move you to this date. So you guys, I guess that's something for you guys.
How much Carlos gonna take?
What did it happen? Who's sponsoring the first one in July?
Okay,
Can.
I gave you guys a copy, so you guys are all aware.
Right here.
It's Cano for July 12th and Vista Funeral Home for July
Yeah.
27th.
Okay,
He's not sponsored, though, they only put $300.
Well, like from here on.
so the sponsors are doing 300.
I'll, who are the two sponsors for July?
It's on page
Cano
11.
Health and Vista
Jackie,
It's
Funeral.
on page 11, Jackie.
Jackie, right here.
Oh, got it. Thank you. Okay, got it.
I have a question,
Yes.
because I know we met Dottie, Pedro, and I met with Sergio. What day was he sponsoring? We gave him a date.
The last week in July.
July 26, wait,
26.
July 26.
I just want to confirm. Because we'll have two sponsors, so that one will be,
That's our $300 we need.
July 26, we had $300 from Carlos, so no. So we give it to him.
wait, what do you mean you give it to him?
Not give to him.
No, give it to him, I mean,
We'll make a payment, I guess. Is
And
what they're
then
saying.
he covered the $300 we was gonna give to him.
He's reducing the entire invoice to $300.
Oh, okay.
That's what it sounds like, at least that wasn't part of that.
That's what I wanted to check, because I knew he was sponsoring it completely. So we would have $300 extra, but we'll just ask him to invoice the town for $300.
Include the certificates too. The
Right.
certificate
So,
use.
but what we should do is make sure that when he submits it to the town, and I don't know if he has or hasn't,
That's not.
because we just met with him on Monday. That Pedro, when you meet with him again,
Sure.
or Dottie, make sure that he bills the town
So,
for $300, and that way we will be even.
Yeah.
And that will be completely free,
And then she'll be free.
that's it.
okay, so that's that one, and then we have the one for the 12th. Right, we have a sponsor for the 12th, which is,
Kind of.
Cano.
right,
Well, we have part sponsor. Because he's putting $300.
we have Cano.
And next, we have about 1,100 to pay.
You need $300, I'll give it to you.
Oh,
That ain't gonna make me more rich or poorer.
No, I
What's
think we're
the-
okay as
It's
far
over.
as I can see. That the last one is voucher free, that one's free. And then the other one,
For August, which one is the Vitrola doing?
20
August, what?
hours.
While Pedro looks at that, something I want to mention, because the committee wants to be aware of, want to make sure that you guys are following all the charges.
The lunch,
Ideally, we would bring that invoice in front of the committee. I understand you just met on Monday, so that's fine. I guess if you could at least make a motion that you're approving 300, what is your max that you're willing to spend on that bingo? You understand? So we know. Now, keep in mind, you guys are just thinking food. If there's anything else, that's something that you're not accounting for. So just keep that in mind, because I'm gonna go based off of whatever is approved at the meeting today.
Now, we draw this over 23rd.
wait, just a minute, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
question, because that brings up a point. Because I read the whole package. And then it comes in here and it says we have to pay for cleaning and all this stuff. Are we really gonna have to pay for that? Because we never had to, and it's like $85 to set up the room per hour.
Yeah, I'm happy to clarify that. That's an event request form, and it's part of the new business, and I can go over it with you guys, or unless you guys wanna, make a motion to,
Well, the
I
problem,
guess, bring that up so I can, but go over that.
She's bringing it up now, like,
I'll make a motion to bring it up.
okay.
And the reason that I do this is because if we have a budget of this, which we all agree on, but we didn't account for these
It's an-
items that we weren't aware of till today, because I read the whole package, and I just want to confirm that we're gonna have to start paying this. Because honestly, I think we can get people cheaper than $85 an hour to set up a room.
And most of the time, Omaida and Maria are setting up the room.
I understand, but they
We
put
set
up,
up the
they
No,
put,
wait, I'm just saying, if we're setting up the room, the tables are there, we're even helping with the tables, the chairs, everything. When we were there, now, not here, maybe not But when we're Roberta Alonso, those two are there early in the morning and they are setting everything up.
Yes.
So, yes,
So the question, this is what I wanna know, what does setup mean? Because I know that when I've been there to set up, there's a guy putting out the tables, which are big tables. And so I know that I'm not there at all the meetings. I'm not at any of the bingos because unfortunately, due to my work schedule, I can't be. But those I don't expect any of us that are here to set those up. Are we going to have to pay for those to be set up? And if so, can we say, he has to set them up in 15 minutes, because really in 15 minutes, you should be able to take out 10 chairs. 10 tables, and we can set up the chairs. So it's kind of like you're asking us, the town is asking us to pay for these things according to the package that we received today. Because since I'm the treasurer, I'm the make-believe treasurer, I'm stepping in for Rosario today. If I'm the make-believe treasurer today, we have a budget. I want to stick to our budget. I think the committee has indicated that we want to stick to a budget, but we need to know the parameters. What is the town going to require us that we have to have?
Nancy,
If that $85 you just referred to is for the custodian to set up tables. Well, he's there being paid by the town, whether he sits outside on his cell phone or sets up tables. I totally object. I just got here, but I totally object to this $85 for a custodian, because there's times when everybody's leaving and I'm still helping that guy. What the heck am I helping him for? I'm not getting paid.
So if you guys will
And he's
allow,
getting paid sort of in my mind twice. He's paid to be there. Who the heck needs him on a Saturday when all he does is set up the tables and walk outside and look on his phone? And I've
I
seen
can
this.
set up the table.
I have seen this and I thought, okay, fine. He set up the tables, but now you're telling me you're gonna charge us $85? I'm livid. So I'm sorry. Thank you for listening to me, but this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
my comment is, we weren't notified before now.
Mhm.
if you guys will allow me to address the form, you'll better understand this, because you guys are going off of incorrect information. So if you allow me to walk you through the event request form, since this is the first time it's being presented for you, I can better explain things to you, and maybe you wouldn't be so upset over incorrect information that was just presented by you guys. So, it is incorrect that the janitor will be paid twice. That's not the case in this, so then allow me to go through it. The event request form is something that the communications team created, and I apologize for not getting it to you guys earlier. I've already put this into place with other committees, and maybe that's why, some of the other committees are following along better in terms of their expenses. I hope that this serves you guys in that same purpose. So, there are a lot of small details that in the back end, maybe the committee members aren't aware of, and I think this will, bring you to be more conscious about your events. So if you guys need cooler or ice, that's something that we can provide. I'm going down the list now. Cooler, ice, that's something we can provide. Water, if it's bottled water, obviously we need to buy that. So this is where you guys as a committee would agree, hey, we need to buy water bottles, we need to place an order for however many, etc. Tables. Do you guys need tables for your bingo event, for your socials, whatever it may be within town, community centers or town hall? This is where you guys would confirm, hey, Io, we need 10 tables. Round, rectangle, you tell me well in advance, I can check if that's something that we have in this property, depending on wherever we're at. Chairs, if you need tablecloths, that's something that we'll have to order, unless you guys know we have some black ones there, but that's why I need you guys to be specific on this form, and like that, I can tell you what we have, what we don't have. If you need to purchase plates, utensils, napkins, that's something to think about. Depending on your event, you need food warmers.
Page 16, Io is referring to.
We set up 20 tables. I'm there with Jorge setting up tables, and I'm the early bird. And what I really bothers me is the fact that when we buy the food, the restaurant doesn't give us any napkins. Sometimes we have a hard time getting napkins. And people, oh, I want napkins, and they don't want one, they want two.
Well, that's something that I can bring extra, I mean, because we can't add it to the budget now. Or maybe we can. Yes, ma'am.
What's the time frame for the town to receive this form, and how, like, what's the time frame that the committee or Dottie, whoever's in charge of this form, we're gonna get notified for approval? Because it seems like now the town wants to put processes in place in order for the committees to be more organized, is what I'm seeing. So with that said, I think that we should be given ample time. So for example, if we have a July bingo coming up, how much time does the town need for all this? And then who's in charge of keeping track of all these forms? Because now it has to be done for every event. Is that my understanding?
If you guys, my suggestion would be if it's for bingo should be pretty like, you know, the same. I mean, we can just review and maybe once every other month, so we're on the same page in case you guys need to up, you know, your supplies or something like that. With the other committees, I ask for at least a month, but that's because they have a lot more details with their event. I think with you guys, it's pretty simple. So I would say a month before. And again, we can do it for various bingos, like one form for various bingos, if it's not gonna change. Now, if everyone is gonna be different, other than the catering, obviously. But if you're gonna require more of one than the other, then that's a
Well, it
different
would
story.
change from Roberto Alonso to here. We'll have definitely.
Right, for certain dates,
Yeah.
but other than that, so yeah, I think that would be a good thing, Dottie, to do a summer one, right? Like now we're in the summer, and once we go to Roberto Alonso, right? Because the amount that goes up and all that.
That lot more. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, so in reference to, let's say, special events, so I'm just gonna throw in Missing Your Miami Lakes. That's in August. So does this form have to be reviewed at the committee level? Does the secretary do it? Like anybody from the board do it? Does Dottie do it? Does it need approval? What is the
So
process?
somebody
Because
should-
That's next month.
Yeah, somebody should definitely, you know, a committee member should be tasked with filling out the form on behalf of the committee in advance of the next committee meeting. I still need this to be approved by the committee because the concern last meeting was that members are not aware of the details and charges, and I think this will really bring to light certain charges that we're not merely not thinking of, and that you guys are maybe, I guess seeing as a surprise because it just wasn't thought of, but it was done anyways, right? Like water bottles that have been confirmed and was never really discussed in the meeting, we need water for the members, for example. Or like, Midas, just presented like napkins. I remember this has been an issue in the past. So for that reason, we bought a pack of extra napkins and utensils in case a caterer would miss it. We had backup at Roberto Alonso. That's one of those charges that was never brought in front of the committee, and that's kind of what I want to avoid going forward. So for that reason, this does need to come in front of the committee, so everybody's aware of all the charges that are being charged to your accounts.
Now, Miss Senior, that's at a hotel,
That's a
so we don't
hotel.
have to worry about all those expenses.
Well, there's still details to it. I don't want you guys
I mean-
walking in and then, it's not to your liking.
Yeah, but I mean, we don't have to prepare for napkins and the utensils.
No,
because
but
that's-
if there's extras, right, you can always add to the event. If there's anything extras, one, this will have me confirm against what their order is and make sure that, everything is what you guys were requesting. If not, we have to go back and change. That gives us time to go back and change things. And also, if there's anything additional that you guys want to add to the event that may not be covered by the hotel,
Okay.
this is this gives us.
Would you be able to tell us what the hotel covers, I mean,
Yeah, I can send the banquet order to all of you so that you guys
so we can at least see what they cover and then we can add on to that, anything that
Yeah.
you think we're gonna need.
I will email that for you guys.
Yes,
So,
sir.
question, so we have to complete this form even though, the event is not gonna be at, it's gonna be at the hotel at Chulas? We have to complete this form?
Yes.
Oh, for every event.
So I guess we still haven't gotten to my question, Nancy's question, which is the handyman setup. If we're at Robert Alonso, do we have to pay $85 an hour for quote unquote room setup, breakdown, etc.?
Okay, so, so when we go down to janitorial, if janitorial is already present right? We have certain hours where janitorial's here, for example, right now, we're doing something here, janitorial's here. So we don't need to pay them additional because they're already here, it's already covered by the town. However, if it is outside of their confirmed hours and then we're adding that on. So like, let's say, I don't know, Sunday night or something, then yes, you guys will be responsible for paying. And yes,
can we get their hours?
yes, I can send that to you.
So that way we know. And
We
then
can plan.
we can plan accordingly, because if they stop at 2, we need to stop our event at 1:30 so that we don't get stuck with an $85 bill for breaking down the room.
And that would affect our bingos. Because sometimes they run over, sometimes they run short.
We gotta keep them.
I need,
Go ahead.
I need clarification. It should not be the committee's responsibility to know about a handyman, break down the timing, the hours, that's the town. So whoever is there, I don't know if it's you or whoever you send whoever the town sends on behalf, it should be them, it shouldn't be us. So let's say we fill out this form, let's say now for the next bingo. I should come back into us and say, hey, the hours are gonna be X, Y, Z. I recommend that you mark this form for that day. It's hard for us to keep track and it shouldn't be our responsibility.
So yes, again, that's why I'm gonna provide you the hours for the janitorial. Pretty much with janitorial and handyman, anything that's within the business hours, you guys are pretty much covered. So just, that's a general sense of that. I can send you the exact hours for janitorial, just so you know, because it does differ for the community centers. And not in a bad way, if anything, we have more coverage in the community centers, like outside of business hours, so it's a good thing. And with handyman, it's business hours that they're here, so that's why when they do the breakdown, they do the setup for your bingos here, or in Roberto Alonso, you guys have never been charged for that because you usually have kept it within the business hours. They're there anyway. So the town is already paying them. You guys don't have to worry about that. Yes,
Do they work on weekends?
yes, they do. That's what I was saying. If
Because
anything, it's a good thing because the community centers have like extra coverage.
No,
In addition to town hall.
I saw that in our expenses for the health fair. They had that.
Right, but for the health fair, I have to go back and double check. I'm not aware off the top of my head. I would have to double check if there was an expense for that. And if there was an expense for it, it's because, again, we're just paying hours. I need to double check what times they were. And if it was because it was additional, at some point there is additional help needed, right? Like, yeah, we have one janitorial, but if you guys throw, an event for 300 people, one janitorial staff is just not gonna be enough for that. So that's what it depends. If it was the health fair, as you guys know, is a greater scale event. So maybe there was a need for an extra person. And I don't think it was handyman, it was probably janitorial that was booked. I can see that being a thing.
That's why I just wanna know.
Yeah. So again, if we get this in time, especially for these big events, I would suggest you give this to me as, in advance as you can, just like Jessica said, I can come back to you guys and tell you, hey, I know you guys think you don't need somebody, but we're gonna have to book someone, and like that, you guys know.
And I agree with that. For example, I know that the legal form is on the weekend, right?
Yeah.
If I recall correctly.
Yeah, so we'll have to book, for example, janitorial for that, because there's no janitorial in this building on Saturdays or Sundays.
It's here. I thought we were doing it at one of the, it's gonna be in.
I don't know if it was discussed at the last meeting where I wasn't here, but if that's the case, let me know and I will look at the dates for you.
I think.
They have a date.
I have a tentative date for town hall on my calendar. So again, if you want me to look at another location, let me know.
Wait. The forum is on August 26th?
I think that's, I don't know what August.
No,
26th.
that's August 26th. Sorry. Oh my God, don't speak.
August 25th is the bingo. No, August, and we've got that sponsor for that, fully. We're talking about, I don't know when the legal form.
I'll double check for you.
Because I know that the legal form is usually
On a Saturday.
on a Saturday, and it's usually at Mary Collins.
I think they moved it here. I'm not mistaken, last time it was here.
Last time was here. Again,
Last time
if
it
you
was-
guys wanna look into another center, that's fine. As of right now, I have a tentative hold on council chambers. Just let me know and I'll look into it.
On what day you have it? I'm sorry, August 26th, right? August?
No, August 26th is a bingo.
It's a bingo.
Like that.
Rooms are legal.
We don't have enough.
So the next bingo is when?
The forum right now is set for,
Then,
we have a tentative hold for September 9th.
September 9th.
For when, September 9th,
September 9th.
My daughter.
and that's here.
It's not confirmed.
As of right now, but it sounds like you guys may want to change that. So yes, September 9th.
I think that needs discussion because you've got seniors, they can come any time of the week. Why not have it on Sunday where we don't have, I mean, on a weekday where we don't have to pay?
I don't mean to interrupt, but let me know what item you guys want to finish off so we can go on to the next one.
Yes.
I don't want to confuse you guys with the.
All right, well, I'm just gonna, since I'm asking about this form, because I wanna. I'm sure I'm gonna be asked questions when Gotti or Rosario starts to fill this out, so I'm stepping in. IT tech, what does that mean? Like what, like,
If we need an IT person, this usually doesn't happen with elderly affairs, but if for any reason there's something you guys want to stream or something, we need IT. You know, they're present to make sure that nothing happens, and if something happens, they're there to quickly fix it because, you know, liaison is not an IT.
that's why I wanted to know, what does that include? Is it setting up a microphone? Is
No,
it,
it's not setting up a microphone. We can do that for you with no cost.
okay, so that's. So it's a computer thing. So
Yes.
if somebody.
If there's any technology involved with it,
So if, let's say, a sponsor, for example, brings and does a PowerPoint. They're gonna bring their laptop, for example, and they bring their PowerPoint. That shouldn't be a cost to us.
so to avoid that cost for you guys, that has never been a cost to you guys, at least not in the last fiscal year. And you guys have had stuff on the weekend. So the reason for that is because the sponsor will usually forward me their PowerPoint in advance during business week. And then IT, who's already here, will upload and make sure it works during business hours. So it's not a cost to you.
Okay,
However, if the computer were to fail that day, we're stuck. So there is no IT. We have not confirmed IT. Luckily, it hasn't happened. It's a pretty, smooth process. But if it were to happen, just be aware we don't have IT on staff on that Saturday or Sunday, whenever the forums are going.
well, that's what I wanted
Yeah.
to confirm. It's not like when during the week,
No,
the person sends the PowerPoint and then IT has to check it and do their thing. That's what I just wanted to confirm.
as long as, and usually the sponsors are good about a few days before sending that over so that we're prepared and can test it in advance. If for any reason a sponsor doesn't, then we run into an issue, right? Because then we do have to call IT and make sure that everything's hooked up. But usually they're pretty good as from what I've seen so far. They do send it a few days before, which gives us business days and we have IT check it and all is well.
Well, the September 9th, is that gonna be here or does it matter? Or who makes that decision?
Well, that's, it sounds like you guys need to have a discussion about that.
Okay. I'd rather it be during the week, but I'll go with what we vote on because during the week, the seniors, it doesn't make a difference if it's on a weekday or on weekend. They're free to come anytime. It takes away from our time for the weekend. Yes, Nancy.
I agree, mainly because whatever incidental, to the janitor and this one and that one, and somebody to open the door, you're all here during the week. Any of those side charges, I'll call them, including your IT person. They're here, so I'm going to agree with Dottie that there has to be a motion.
Yeah, right.
You haven't made one yet because we're still
We
in
will.
discussion, but when it comes, I will be voting to do it in the middle of the week. And if you can't make it in the middle of that week, we're gonna change the date. Because we're gonna have to do whatever we have to do in spite of all the money we get. We're gonna have to do, so we're not paying for these little things that the town already has here for us to use. So let's be wise and use our money wisely.
Make the motion.
So I make a motion.
And I'm
No, I
sorry,
thought
Nancy,
we were
I don't mean to
discussing.
confuse you guys, but we jumped from one topic to the other. Like, we were not,
It's all in reference to money.
yeah, but-
Yeah, okay, well, put
But
that
I'm-
wherever it belongs.
well, that would be a future discussion point in your agenda, but right now, as far as I know, and maybe I'm lost, we're at event request form.
Okay, we'll stick to the request form.
Unless you don't have any other questions, I don't mind, that's on you guys. Just let me know if there's anything else I can answer for you.
Put my comment wherever it belongs. Be nice.
So it says here, invocation. That's just us, we just discussed that, like, if we want somebody to do an invocation.
Yeah, it's for the sake, again, of keeping the entire committee informed of what this event's gonna look like.
And we're gonna do this for every event, and we're just gonna have, we can vote here today to have it, for all the bingos,
Until
same
whatever
form
date.
until the end of time. Unless we make
Well,
it
what I
one
was-
again in the future to change it.
What I was suggesting is you should do one for the summer, because this is a smaller event than when we go back to Roberto Alonso, and it's also a different location, so again, layouts are different.
Okay.
We're just starting in summer almost. So. Yeah. That's it.
Who's gonna be the point person filling this form out? I think we also need to figure that out as well.
What do you think?
I mean, I recommend that this form should be filled out by, and I'm sorry, by the liaison, and then bring it back to the committee for review, because let's say Lourdes is out, let's say Dottie can't do it, or I don't know what's going on, I'm not gonna know what to fill out for bingo, because we all have day jobs, and I don't know.
I can
Who can do
definitely
it?
walk you guys through it, but this is a responsibility of the committee. But if you guys want me to hold your hand through the first one, I definitely can.
I have no problem with taking responsibility for it. Now, that means the town is gonna have to tell me a month in advance how many people they're going to allow at any meeting.
Well, it's not the town, you
No,
guys decide how many
but-
people. I can only give you the capacity of the location. But
But
you guys will confirm, hey, we only want 20 people allowed into the bingo, that's what you guys are budgeting for. I can't go and say 100 after the committee says 20.
But let me ask you this. What if there's only 30 people that responded and our people, it's 100, can we change it? Can we?
You guys
up
can
it?
always change it, but this is just being prepared in advance. Like, if you have extra water bottles, I don't think that's gonna kill you. The
because-
problem is if we're booking, you know, at least for the bingos, you guys have historical data of what it looks like, so that shouldn't be an issue. Now, if one day, all of a sudden, you have 10 people show up to bingo, I don't know, that's like a problem that we'll discuss, I guess, when we get there. But obviously, like, this is really for the sake of being prepared in terms of, do you need tables out? Do you need chairs out? Do you need tablecloths? These are things that the committee hasn't been as hands-on with. And I want to make sure that you guys, the entire committee, maybe like I've had discussions with Dottie and she told me, hey, we need this. But again, it's a matter of the committee being aware of what goes into it and how it may affect your budget. Not that it will, but if it does, you understand why.
Go ahead, Jesse.
I have to disagree again, and I'm gonna explain why I disagree for a committee member to be in charge of this form. Because the town took away our, whatever, the head count of all the bingos. The town wanted to be responsible for that. So in my opinion, it should be the town's responsibility to fill this form out and then bring it back with the agenda to review for the next meeting. It should not be our responsibility. And then we can keep tabs on all the itemized budgeted items that we have, and then the treasurer can keep tally and so forth. It should not be our responsibility.
Yeah.
Because the town decides and what they want to be responsible for and not. And now we're getting thrown this form.
I'm not throwing this at you. This is a suggestion to you guys because, again, there was complaints last meeting that you guys weren't aware that there was extra charges that you guys should have been made aware of. So now I'm introducing this to you guys so you guys are aware. That's really where this came from. So this is really to help you guys better guide yourself through your events. This is something that is filled out by the committees. It can be done well in advance, and whoever takes responsibility for the bingos, I'm more than happy to help with, but this is something that needs to be turned in by a committee member that's going to lead this event and bring this back in front of the committee, because it's not approved just because me or a committee member filled it out. It needs to come back in front of the committee so that as a group, we can discuss and go through everything. If there's obviously any suggestion, as you mentioned, whether it be handyman or janitorial, that you guys may not be aware of. Again, because it's being done in advance, it gives me a chance to look at it and correct you guys. Hey, no, we are gonna need this actually, or no, I don't think you need this. I can do that for you guys, but initially the form needs to be filled out by the committee. Because the event is coming from you guys. You guys are the ones requesting the events. And the head count was not taken away from you guys. The head count is on Eventbrite. It is public record, and those attendee lists can always be shared with you guys. The cap is placed by you guys.
Right. The problem I'm having with it on Eventbrite, and I guess we have to have it on Eventbrite, is ever since we've been on Eventbrite, sometimes 10 people don't show up. I talked to one guy one time, I said, you know, you keep putting your name on the list, and it's 2 or 3 times. I'm thinking you're freaking your wife and your girlfriend. He says, no, that damn computer just wouldn't take it. He doesn't know what he's doing, and I'm getting charged for those meals that he's not coming with. So it was run much better when we had control over it, when we were doing it. And I'm not saying we should go back to that, but we gotta have some way. If you don't come 3 times in a row, I'm sorry, you can't come anymore. Because we're being charged for those meals, and they don't show up. And a lot of times they're not our town, not the town people that are doing it, and not, you know, residents of the town.
That dovetails what I had my hand up for before. We need to have more control with the meal issue. There's been times when I've been outside and handing out meals, and we've had meals left over because the people didn't come, or slight issues, but that's drive up. The drive up is minor to what I'm also adding now is you got all these people that sign up, like you said, they're just signing up in case they got nothing better to do that day. And we need to control that, and we need to, if we haven't done it in the past, I'm gonna reiterate, what I've been thinking is to be more aware of this sign up list. You need to go.
She needs to go.
I have appointment.
And
Well, Sarah came, so you can leave it, it won't make a difference for voting.
Turn vote.
Not that we
Yeah,
don't
you're
want
fine.
to, we'll be okay if you leave, because she came and give us our voting. I'm sorry.
Okay, sorry.
All right, dear, thank you.
take care, darling, be safe.
Yeah.
But anyway, what I'm saying is, when we get that sign up list and who's eligible and whatever, we're checking off names and everything else. That needs to be adhered to strictly, because like you said, we're being charged for those meals. And we should set a limit and leave it at that, and ask them to RSVP. You know, to if you're gonna sign up, be there. And they probably don't even realize that we're paying for those meals if they don't show up. So, you know, even if they can't stay, at least come pick up the meal that we're being charged for, or I'm being facetious there, but we need to really control, don't ask me how.
And I don't know how you can control Eventbrite. Because most of the ones.
And sometimes it's not easy to, there's times when I'll try to use it and my phone will freeze up. And I'm sitting there giving it one of these things, you know, so my fingers blue. And that's all we can rely on is Eventbrite for accuracy.
Yes, sir.
So when do we shut off the Eventbrite at least a day before? In other words, if we have a day before and we say, okay, nobody can sign up a day before, right? So let's say the event is on Wednesday. Tuesday, you can't sign up. So the last day you can sign up is Monday at midnight. Tuesday, Dottie, since you know everybody, you can get that list and accurately analyze that list, because you're really good at that. I wouldn't know Peter from Paul, that comes.
When we're Roberto Alonso,
It's-
it's harder because that's where I'm having my most people not show up. Here, because we got our own people,
Right, no.
it's perfect.
And,
Oh.
but if we have this as a rule, you know. If we bring this up later as a rule, and we say, okay. The day before, nobody can sign up. And then we have. The list, you look at it and you can see if. If Pepito or Pepita signed up 4 times. And I think they believe they have a phone number there.
I know Betty requires it, but I don't know if it's on the list that on the list that I get or, you know. we
The
check.
list is just names, but if you want the detail with number, yes, it can be pulled.
No, because I don't know if the phone numbers were there and I can't remember. I've seen it a million times. But
No,
I
the
think
way,
it's just-
the way it prints the attendee list, no, but if you want it in another format, it can be pulled, yes.
Only because if you see Pepito has 6. You can call Pepito and go, did you really mean 6 people? Are you bringing 6 people? Because we have to pay for 6 people to come. And then Pepito goes, oh no, my computer was stuck and I just kept hitting it. No, there's only 1 coming. You can reduce that number by 5.
Usually it sells out. When we're Roberto Alonso, it sells out. I don't know about here.
So right now,
Let me
to
see.
answer your question, we don't have it in place, like if the bingo's on Wednesday, that we close the list on Tuesday. However, it is a setting that we can input. I will say, although that setting is not in place, it still technically closes way in advance of the bingo because it sells out that quick. And the second that it's sold out, it closes automatically, whether it's 5 days before or the day before. And from what I've seen, you guys always sell out your bingos on November. So it closes off pretty fast.
Because, and then this is not a negative because they can't get through the town hall. That's what most of them said. I've tried to get through a town hall and they say that when they leave a message, nobody returns a call. I usually will take the name, their number, the name, and I'll give it to Betty to fill. And I've had that a lot of times. So it's, I don't know what the answer to it is.
And I will mention to you guys that Eventbrite was, is also used because if there's any new residents that may not know Dottie or any of you and, you know, want to be aware of the events, that's just an additional outlet to reach people that, you know, maybe are new to the town and don't know you guys, and they still have a chance of getting on the list.
Yeah.
So do we know what percentage of people sign up that don't show up on a regular basis? So the average is 5, like for a wedding. You send out 100 invitations and you don't plan for 100 meals because the caterers will tell you X% doesn't show of your RSVPs. They'll say X% doesn't show. So out of 100, you got 100 RSVPs. The caterer will tell you, don't order 100 meals because I don't know what the number is. You have to talk to a caterer. They, you know, and Jessica, who does a lot more catering events, they know that 5% sign up and never show up.
Right.
So do we have a tally or can we get a tally of the last 12 bingos? I mean, really 12, it's 12 numbers. So 12 numbers and go, you know, this time this 5 people didn't show, you know, this percent didn't show, and then take an average of those percentages and say the average is we get 5% less than what RSVPs, and we know to order 5% less of the number of RSVPs.
So I know Eventbrite has capability for reports such as that. However, for them to give you that data, that attendee list, like the actual attendance, the check-ins would have to be reported back into Eventbrite, and we don't do that. You guys just, like, we print out the registration list and just check it off, and that's kind of where that, you know, that's done. So at that point, it would have to be,
A manual check.
yeah.
You don't know if they're.
If you want going forward, if you want to see those numbers, then we just have to make sure to go back into Eventbrite and then actually check them into Eventbrite, if that makes any sense.
But
So like that,
we-
they can
we
pull
would-
reports. from
We
it.
would need a computer at the place to be able to.
Yeah,
check
so I
it.
can sit there with whoever the person in the bingo is and we can check them in instead of like on the list. We can do it on Eventbrite. And like that, you can pull reports after the fact, and that would give you a lot of details such as the one you mentioned.
With Nancy.
Would the report you're referring to after the fact indicate, in other words, doing that report and checking after the fact, is it worthwhile? Because what we want to know is who are the repeat offenders who sign up and don't show up? They just sign up in case they've got nothing better to do on that Saturday. So would that be indicated in that report and then therefore worthwhile having it done in the first place? Otherwise, now we just got another sheet of paper with names on it and you don't know who really showed up and who didn't, because that's after the fact information.
If it's worthwhile or not, that's up to you guys. It depends on the data you're trying to see and if it makes sense to, like if it makes sense to the committee, I can't answer that for you. That's
Yeah,
what you
but so
guys. think.
so that's a question mark in relation to, what's the better way to go? But the bottom line is, as somebody who has sat out front and checked people in, once I do that, I hand the list to Dottie. And then somebody, Dottie or whomever, would have to go through it, especially because she knows the people. Yes, this one was here, this one wasn't, or just, check off their name that they're in and they showed up. And then that would help us determine, do we want to go through any more of this other business that we would have to pay for to tally that information?
What we want
I'm
to pay
making
for.
sense here. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of work for us or Isle or whatever, but if it's already in the computer and you only allow people to sign up for an Eventbrite, it also begs the next question for me is, and I do this all the time, I worry about it. We sign up or we don't sign up, the committee members who are going to show up at the bingo. It's always a question mark for Dottie.
Do you or don't you?
She doesn't know is we is or is we,
And
is we is or is we isn't individually. Most of the time, Dottie knows I'm gonna be there. She orders a meal, but how often do we have extra meals?
We
Because
usually
people,
always have extra meals, so.
well, see, I don't know that because you're doing the calculation, but to bring it up now, it's important because we are paying for those meals. So we could clean it up and, tweak it a bit, but there's still the unknowns of the people, the residents that sign up and don't show up. We need to get more strict and make them understand. The meals aren't free, we're paying for them.
A few of them, I have let them know, not everybody. I think I have the last maybe 6. I'm gonna go back and see if there's the repeat offenders. And, I'll try to get Betty to give me phone numbers. Cause I don't have all of the ones that, Eventbrite, I don't have their numbers, most of them.
And Dottie, if you need help with
The
that,
ones from out of
phone
Miami
calls.
Lakes, I don't have. Most everybody in Miami Lakes, I have their phone number. And then I can just go back and see who they are and then we maybe work it that way, just to go for it.
If you need help with that, because most everybody here, looking around the table, work. They
Yeah.
don't have time for this, so I'm
There it is.
available.
Oh, it might be just a second. There it is.
How many people how many extra meals are we having on an average?
5, 6.
So why don't we just order 6 less meals than?
Show up.
Then-
No, I know what you're saying.
Then-
No, I know what you're saying.
Then, you know what, unfortunately, the committee, I'll feed you guys another day.
I have always said, if there's meals left over, the committee should get it, because we are servicing the seniors. That's the one with my opinion, but not everybody agrees with that. So it's never been a problem. It's never been a problem. We've always been able to feed everybody, but that's because people don't show up. Yes,
Let me tell you, most people here have never gone to one of those. Those people are ruthless. I have the water placed in one place. Before I start giving everybody a bottle of water, they come and they want to take their water. No, because I gotta take a pill. No, because I give me for everybody. And I said, look, if everybody comes here and start taking the water, nobody's gonna go out thirsty.
they should
We're
all,
gonna give everybody water and wait until we give it to you.
that,
You don't know what these old people are. Some of them-
I know, I've watched it and I've seen it. but
I have two.
everybody should be serviced the same way. Nobody should get any
Exactly.
better treatment than anybody else.
That's it.
COVID really taught us a lesson. Because used to, we had a bar and they all came up and got their food.
Yeah.
Well, the first person that got it was ready in line to come out the second time.
Mm.
And so now we are servicing each table. I give you a line, I give Jackie a line and
They don't
and
wanna
Nancy
wait.
a line. And you each have your lines.
Yeah.
You serve those lines, if Maria Perdomo too. You serve those lines, so you know who you're giving it to, who, how many times you, so it's been really working. If we get out of that, then that's when
It's incredible.
my toes
If
go
the
out.
food is packed, they put it in a
Yeah.
bag and they say, I don't.
I
you're
will
not
have better
getting food.
control now that we're making these rules. You serve the role, whatever role you're given, you serve that role. Do anything you have to. It's like when we're here, it's even worse because we're more confined. You gotta stay focused on your line, because if you get away from it and something happens over here, then somebody else has got to jump in, then it throws our target all the way up.
Tell me about it.
But so I think this is good. I think this is what we really needed is the organization. I assign it, you take the role you give, you service them to the end, clean up, set up, whatever.
Why are people like that? Why do they wanna take it all? Think of your fellow man, somebody else,
That's
you
the way
know?
like this. I don't even know where we are.
Well, Gary's what now?
No, we do we need to
We
vote
don't
on
talk
Do we need to
about-
vote on something in regards to the number of people, just for the minute's sake?
As to the bingos for the summer,
well, the summer, we're kind of confined. It was 65, I think you said. They can fit in
so,
there.
so can we just pretend we're doing one of these, I'll do a clean one, so I can do it for the summer, for the bingo and everybody's
Well,
present.
here it's hard because I'm not sure how many, I thought you told me 65. I won't, I'm not swearing to, that that was
Somewhere around there.
somewhere around
Yeah.
65 that we could actually fit in there.
Okay, so
And that's the reservations I thought we were taking. I don't know.
do we need water? Cause I don't know these things for the bingo.
So I can tell you that,
We always do.
I've previously ordered water and you guys still have some left over. If you guys want to check if you think that's enough, I mean, you can.
I don't know how many, if there's 65 people, let's say the max everybody can have is 2 waters, right? I mean, I don't know if you're getting little waters.
The
or
ones
big
we
waters.
have right now are the little ones.
The little ones?
They
Yeah.
want like a Mayra, right? You want like a Mayra.
Okay,
Like the
so,
12-ounce ones.
so we should do 2 of those, right? So if there's
It'd
60
be better to get the bigger ones and just give them one, because that's almost,
Then you're
that's a
only
lot
handing
more
it
to
out
clean up.
once.
Right, and those are more expensive as well.
Yeah.
So can we say we want the bigger ones? All right, so I'm gonna write here 16 ounce,
That
because
way-
this is what I want, right?
You only
So
get
this is
one.
what you want, 16 ounce. And we need them, and we have 65 people. So how many, come 24 times,
It's 24, right?
You just
Yeah.
say the total count and we'll order the total count. You don't have to like bother with the math, that's what I'm saying, unless you want to.
3 cases and 7.
You can just tell me the total and I'll make it order.
that's why I,
Hold on,
So-
she's got an answer, she's got
20, okay, so do 24 times 3 is
3 cases at 72.
72, so 3 cases.
If it's 12, no.
12,
No, they're 24.
24. I think so, it's
24.
24.
3 cases of 24 of 16 ounces, right?
Right.
75.
Right, so we have a few left over in case somebody's dying.
That's if you give him one,
Right, if you're giving one.
yeah.
All right, tables. Do we have to put up tables? I'm sorry, Jessica, not that I'm running them.
No, it's
Okay.
fine, it's fine. The form should have number of people in attendance.
Yeah, I think at the end there's a
Where,
But it's different
max
here than it
attendees
is
and
at
event budget.
Roberto Alonso.
At the end.
Roberto Alonso, I think
The
we're
last
max was 130.
Right, so we're doing a max of 65. Do I have to put ice or cooler down
sorry,
for this?
Sorry,
Do we need to put ice or cooler down for this?
you guys haven't done it before?
We haven't.
Okay,
If
so
you
we,
just drink it straight from the
If
bottle.
you want it to be cold, then
Donnie,
No, yeah.
before she does this math, I'm butting in. When do we start at Royal Oaks? How
I
many
think it's
more,
September.
Okay, so how many more meetings at town hall? Because these
August
numbers are gonna
23rd.
change.
August 23rd is when you start at Roberto.
So that would be our-
So this is,
For example, this one.
this is just for town
Right
hall.
now, I
Yes.
have this
Okay.
August 9th
Town
and
hall.
August 20th. August 9th here. and
August 20
26th. 23rd over
So
there.
now they're talking about-
Oh, 23rd, August 23rd, we started with Roberto Alonso.
Okay, so this tally is for just town hall. I
Just
wanted
town
to
hall.
make that
Yes,
clarification.
town
I'm
hall.
putting it at the top. Town hall bingo, 65 people, because that's the max that we can have. We don't need ice.
No,
Okay.
Something to keep in mind for your 65.
When's the next bingo?
You guys, as of right now, have been budgeting for about 10 to 12, 16 lunches of people that are driving by. So that's something you want. to
Okay,
continue
but
to-
this, I'm filling out this form.
Right, but I'm telling
They
you
don't get
guys,
water.
in terms of your invoice, just in terms of, your invoice of lunches, right, that plays into your invoice. for
Okay,
catering.
but this does not,
65.
this is in fact, so let's just go through it, if we
okay.
can please. Tables, are they round or rectangle?
The ones here are rectangle.
Okay, so how many do we need?
I think it was 14,
Were you okay with the amount last time?
14
Were you
exactly.
not?
14, I think. That's all we could fit in.
Yeah.
And wait,
Yeah.
14 isn't
You
actually
can fit
round.
18,
No, we had rectangular here.
rectangular 18, but 14.
Rectangular here and there was 14.
Okay, so
14.
14 tables. Chairs, at least 65, because there's at least 65 people,
Yeah,
right? So I'm gonna say for the heck of it, 70.
Yeah,
Let's
Because
put in a
there's-
few just for the
yeah.
town people. All right, so we need a tablecloth. So we're not buying, we used to buy tablecloths here. Is the town now buying?
We
them?
haven't bought them in a while because Dottie, the last order that she had placed with Willie was like in excess of them. So
Willie
she had
ordered-
enough for this entire time.
when before he left, he ordered tablecloths and we used the last ones, this last one.
Okay, so we need tablecloths.
So we're gonna have to start, we need to order a big order again.
Okay,
The same thing, order the same thing,
Yeah, but.
because then we don't have to worry about it.
no, but we need to
What's
put
the
it
next bingo
in
then?
here.
Well, it's
40.
even if you do a bulk order, it's still important for you guys to know the numbers so that you know what you're spending on average.
So
per
we know
day.
how many we used,
Okay.
and then that way,
We only know.
if somebody borrowed 15 of our tablecloth, then we know the count is off. So it's plastic, the material, right?
Yes,
And we need tablecloths. Do we care what color for the bingos?
if it's Christmas, we use
That's what I'm
it
saying.
Multicolored.
multicolors, yeah, depending on the holiday we're celebrating or.
So I'm putting
plain.
multicolored. And we need, how many do we need? We need 14 tables, right? So we need 14.
You want to serve the food?
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
that's true. And
that's
the other people, so 14, let's say 20, no, 20 is too many.
18.
18?
18?
Yes.
Well, you got your sponsorship, some of them don't.
Right,
have the
you're
tablecloth, So we.
Yeah.
So 18,
18 is gonna be very.
let's
very,
do 20.
very
just
tight.
in case.
It's gonna be
Let's
very
do
tight.
20, just in
Right.
case. And then we might have some at the end.
House
and then-
papers is very
And then you say-
small.
Do we need any cups or dish plates or
That's why
anything?
we did 14 last time. and it
That
was-
usually is provided by,
So, no,
the cups we don't use because we're using water and they drinking the water out of a bottle. The plates,
no.
we
Like
don't
this
have,
one.
so whatever the sponsors giving
Food
us.
trays and warmers, none, right?
Right,
Food truck.
Trays,
vendor,
I have 3 trays and I always carry those, the ones that my sister and I.
Yeah,
General-
some of those things may not be related to you guys. Again, this is
I
the
understand.
general.
this is
All right,
general,
This is just for bingo.
This is just
just for being,
for bingo here in town hall. Janitorial, 0, right? We don't need any,
Nope,
none. We don't need any breakdown,
no.
no. Okay, let's go to the next page. IT, none. Videographer, none. Photographer, none.
No.
DJ, none.
Tickle.
Yeah, it's the same. I included it all. Invocation, none. Park department grass, we're not cutting anybody's grass. None.
And no public. We're done.
Last time I had to sing the tango.
Okay,
Just
public
like
works,
that.
we're not cleaning their site.
Strangled back.
All right,
Conducting.
registration page.
Strangled.
That's the event.
Come on, guys.
This is Eventbrite?
Yeah.
So what do I, where do I put this?
Do you guys want to continue having it or not? It sounded like you guys feel like
No,
that's
no,
a
we've
positive?
agreed, I think, to Eventbrite.
Just put a check and I'll make sure it's on.
I'll put, yes, Eventbrite.
I have a question, and this,
I don't know if
I don't know if this can be done.
GHD.
Can Betty input all of her ones she has before we open Eventbrite? Or you can't do that? So we'll know at least the ones that in the town
When you say the ones
Especially-
she has, you mean the ones that are already checked in.
already checked in.
So something for you guys to think about, Dottie's asking the question if we can input the registration. Because the way we've been doing it is whoever comes to the bingo, we do a sign up sheet for the next. So I guess Dottie's asking if we can input those first before we open it to the public. And I guess that's something we can do, but something for you guys to think about is, are we giving preference to people just because they're here versus? What if somebody didn't make it to the bingo because whatever, they had a doctor's appointment? Does that mean that they can't get on the list because now we've given preference to the ones that are here? That's just something to think about,
But
if we do it that way.
Roberto Alonso, it won't make a difference because we've always got plenty of room. Just hear that.
Hear
We've
that.
only got 3
Yeah.
more of those to go. So. I don't know, I just think it would be so much easier and then whatever, Roberto Alonso is where it affects us really the most. And I think if they, our people know that they have it, they're registered because over there, anybody can come. And if we have more people from Hialeah than we have from Miami Lakes, then it becomes, and I don't know if it's ever happened, but it could happen.
Yeah, nobody's really checking if they're from Hialeah or Miami Lakes. The only time we've done that is here for the sake of, because it's so tight.
All right, so
I don't know
I'm
if
trying to really finish this list.
Okay,
Programs, I put under registration page. Do we need any programs?
You guys have never done promotion?
Okay.
I don't know if you want.
All
no,
right, so I've
if
skipped,
we have programs, usually the
Well, thanks.
sponsor will provide.
we don't need the police, right?
No,
Okay, no, I'm just
Okay.
confirming, volunteers. Is that us? Do we count us?
so we usually have, we can work on confirming student volunteers if needed. Now, maybe during the summer we can get them for bingo. I don't see that happening during the actual school year for obvious reasons.
So these volunteers are not our committee.
No,
These
no, these
you
are,
guys-
you guys need additional.
So I'm gonna put, hey. Do you guys want 2 volunteers
Well-
to help you?
What we did before COVID, we were just starting a program with the special needs. These are the older special needs. And they were coming and helping us serve. The seniors loved it. They loved it because there was a connection there. But then COVID came and we had to stop. And I've been trying to get that program working
With
again,
the
but
kids, they were.
I don't know who the new.
Yeah, if you guys
person is.
put special needs in, then I can
Well,
have
just
the
check
chair
on,
talk to
check
you.
on it and see if that is available to us. Because if it is, it was a good match. And
Yeah.
they worked hard and they enjoyed it and the seniors
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
Nice kids.
We'll have
They
the
were.
chair talk.
That was her name, and I forgot. She's the one who gives it away.
Yes, ma'am.
Dottie,
That was it.
refresh my memory, please. The volunteers and the special needs. Now, what we're talking about is now going into the school season.
No,
So
this is for the
these-
summer bingos.
So this is just for the summers for now. And how many are left? 3?
Yeah, 3.
So I'm talking about
No, it's
3.
1, 2, 3, there's 4, 2 in June, July and 2 in August.
Okay,
But
so,
September is ours too, isn't it? That doesn't our budget end in September?
Yeah, the last day of
So-
September is the last day. of-
So then we got 6, 2, 4,
Okay.
6.
Yeah, but we voted on only doing one.
I don't think you guys have taken a proper vote. It was
We haven't.
discussed, but it wasn't.
We didn't.
You
Okay,
guys
so
have
we
to
need
vote.
to vote on that in a minute, but
We
can
can't, the only 1 month we could do it is, would be September because we've already filled up the sponsors for June and July.
Oh, can we just
Go
go
ahead.
back to the form? All
All right.
right, so I'm gonna put 2 volunteers. Is everybody good with the 2 volunteers?
Yeah.
All right, cool. We don't need a stage, we don't need portable toilets or anything like that. Litter removal.
That's, so for example, I can tell you that at least in the last fiscal year, the only reason that's ever been charged to elderly affairs is for the health fair, because litter removal, we're talking about like the street, the parking,
So I'm gonna put
And
not,
that's everything.
so not for bingo.
none for bingo, I just need
Unless
to
you
make
do like a party outside.
street closures, none. Full timeless parking,
No.
none. Honor guard, no. Amazon orders, oh really? That one's
I
interesting.
don't have to know.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys need anything from there, just let me know.
But Amazon orders, we order the tablecloths from them, don't we?
Yeah, that's fine.
No.
You don't have to,
We
these are
never
just
have.
extra things for you guys to think about.
But they're usually cheaper on it. Can we like?
These are already paid for. They were paid for when Willie was going.
We haven't
through it.
placed an order for
Them to
tables.
buy.
Okay, going, yeah,
So-
we're going for
So
it, yeah,
I'm,
okay.
this is starting for this next.
Okay,
bingo.
all right,
You said
okay.
there was none, so I'm going.
Okay,
Do
I'm
we
sorry,
have to
I
do-
apologize.
You can leave that empty, Lourdes. I think I understand, just if you put tablecloth somewhere else, we can figure it out.
Okay, so I'm finished with the form. Here it is. I'm officially turning it in.
Yes, ma'am.
Would it be wise to not ignore that category
But it-
and throw in $100, whatever, in case there is something that you do need to order from Amazon, it's already in your budget. And you don't have to go before the council for that special item or whatever. It's just preparing $100, $200, $100, whatever you think it might be. Is it wise to not leave it blank? Is my question.
I mean, you guys can, as a committee, decide to go on, we want to leave $100 miscellaneous in case,
It's just.
you know, like we want to budget for a
Have
cushion of $100.
on here.
All right, so I was just advised that there was 2 more pages. So page 19, request setup of shares as they fit. I'm gonna put in.
Okay, so
And
there's
then-
nothing specific on it, or how it looks.
Per town.
Huh? No, she's talking about the setup. of
All right,
the room.
so the next one is request must be turned in once a month of the event, the committee. And the committee chair, what does that mean? Oh, this is,
Done.
elder. Being other affairs, committee chair is Dottie. Wicks. And Dottie, what is your email?
That's okay, I have it. You can-
Okay, Dottie has it. Event title bingo. So.
For the
in
summer.
Town,
Half of the song.
in town hall, I'm putting. Which I put at the event title. name,
Location.
Same thing,
You have
location,
town.
town. Hall,
And I guess this would be
what
really
time are
important.
these bingos at?
11
11
to 1.
1.
Your event budget, so like that, we're all aware of what's your max that you'll be
So the
spending
next
on it.
date is,
2, 1.
We're
for
gonna
the
talk
bingo?
about that now.
what?
We're gonna talk about that now, because it's.
Budget event. All right, so maximum attendee 65. What is our budget event?
What's the budget? So you guys know, there's no surprise, we
So
spent 4,000 and we should have only spent 2,000, like.
Alright,
this is
so
ready to-
I guess we need to decide how much we're willing to spend on these bingos in this time.
Or the
Per bingo. Max $200. Because we have sponsors.
Right.
That doesn't include the sponsors,
But
correct?
the 300, I don't think that that's enough for you to cover your bingos, because they have 2 2 restaurants pretty much donating the food. But
Right,
that's for 2, and if you have 6 bingos, how are you gonna cover the other ones?
Oh, she's saying in general.
but this is for the town.
And right now, as of right now, you guys still have 2 in July, 2 in August, and 2 in September, so that's $200 from what I've seen is not realistic for you guys.
I need a calculator.
And Lourdes.
Especially
not-
for your catering,
it's
has
not-
been almost 1,000.
It's not 65, it's 75 because we have some that pick up.
Right, so that has to be built
That
into
has
your
to be,
budget.
that has to be built into the budget. There's 65 inside and I have at least 8 to 10 that pick up. Like, because they're handicapped,
I
some of them
understand.
are still not comfortable.
I
coming back.
understand. So the Eventbrite, does it include those 65 people?
We do a separate tab on Eventbrite. One is for like attending in person, the other is for pickup.
Okay,
Now, the pickup isn't open, like, we don't really advertise, but if somebody calls in and wants to be put on the pickup, our front desk ladies will.
It's
put
not
them in.
known in the public.
okay. So I just want to clarify. In the room, the max is 65.
Correct.
Yes.
And then we have another secret list, so to speak, not really secret, but
No, piece,
the
handicap. piece.
handicap list of
About 10.
10. No, we have to give a number.
Yeah.
Okay, so pickup is
10.
really 10, not
10.
75. You're going from 65
Max.
to 75.
I'm gonna put max in person, 65,
Right.
and 10 pickup.
and
Right.
pickup,
Is that good?
Yes.
All right. Event budget. We need to come up with a budget according to this.
Well, it's not according to, again, you guys
No,
we
according
went
to
over,
this form.
right, but this is really important to you guys because there was an issue about not being aware of charges, so we need to all be on the same page about what we're spending per event. So like that, you know, that will help us
Well,
get
that's-
better track of your budget.
That's gonna be hard to come to because some of the luncheons are paid for, some of the part of it, some of them are not, some of them are paid for in whole. So to come up with a specific
Well,
amount.
it's, what you could do is a cap. We need to know a cap.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay, if you get it all donated, that's great. That's $0 to you for that bingo, but what is the cap? Right? Like we can't go over a certain amount. It's what we need to agree on.
We said that our average budget meal when we approached the town, when we considered it, was $11 and like 8 cents. So let's say $11.50,
Okay.
Just round it to 12.
around it to 12, all right.
Yeah.
Well,
So it's
anyway.
12.75 equals $900. Okay, so, and then we have to give $100 in miscellaneous stuff. You know, the tablecloths or whatever. So we should say our budget is $1,000. Is everybody cool with that?
How much?
Everybody.
Dottie, is it $1,000?
Daddy knows.
Is it a
Let me tell you,
$1,000?
it's hard to get them under, get them $1,000 for the meals now.
Yeah, but remember, we're gonna get money. This is out of
Okay.
our budget.
Okay, all right,
So if you got the 300, you're at $1,300.
Okay.
Exactly.
okay, all
So,
right.
right? That's how I do that math, according to this?
It's whatever you guys are willing to spend.
No, is it spent out of our budget or
Or
is
you
it
tell me
spent-
whichever, I can adjust to that, that's fine. Do you
Okay,
wanna
no, I-
spend after the sponsor dollars, or do you just wanna spend max per month? I
No,
feel like it should
After,
be.
after sponsor dollars. So I'm gonna put a thousand after.
Sponsor dollars. So if we have 300 for that, that means the total you're spending for an event is 1,300, for example.
Pardon me, repeat that?
So for example, if you have $300 for the next bingo, and let's say that your total expenses should not be over 1,300 is what we're agreeing on. Pretty much, because you're paying after sponsor.
Right. Okay, now did I?
So you put event
Excuse me.
budget, what did you put for event budget?
1,000
1,000, that's what I,
Right.
thank you.
It's sponsor.
after sponsor.
After.
All right, here,
Point of
here you go.
contact. Wait.
Oh, point of contact. Can I put me?
Okay.
Dottie, can I put me?
Sure.
I'll call you.
Oh, that's, and I'll fill you in on it.
Okay, and then what's POC number?
Yeah, what is that?
That's fine, I have your number. I just need to know who's pretty much needing this.
Oh, point of contact number. Okay, so I'll just put myself. The 304.
Can we just add the dates of the bingos on this form?
I think we should have really discussed if they're gonna keep it to one.
Well, we've already got the sponsorship, so we're gonna have to, I don't think we should turn away sponsoring, so. It's hard for us, but we're gonna, yes.
Well, remember, the sponsors only paying $300. Our bingo costs 1,100, so we have a short of 800.
But the one in August,
The one we have two
this
levels.
is paying for everything,
But
except for the water. We pay for the water, but he's paying for the.
So that-
The budget is for, just in case they don't get a sponsor, like what's the max they're allowing themselves to spend? Right. Out of pocket.
All right, for the record, I'm turning over this summer's.
And if there's any questions, I'll.
Do you have any questions, Penny? Go ahead. You have,
No, I was saying that we just have to make sure that we have enough money.
if we don't have a sponsor.
We don't have
You're the only-
because- No, and if we have the sponsor, it's only paying
The
300.
only backup there.
Can I get a copy of that just so that I
Yeah.
have it for my records?
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause I'm gonna create a folder.
When Pedro's got a point here. Go ahead, Pedro.
Okay, in July, let's say we have two, okay, two bingos. One, we're gonna cover because we have a sponsor for $300 and that's all we have to give to search. But that's the second week, the second bingo. The first bingo in July, how much money we have?
I don't think we have a sponsor as far as I know.
For the 12,
That's what we have. It was here.
So that,
Yeah, it's
we
there.
can't go over that 1,000, whatever.
1,100?
1,100.
Yeah, but how much money we have?
For July 12, you have
No,
a
it's a
$300.
We only have 300, so we need, that's what I say, we short it, so 800 in July. The first bingo in
First bingo.
July, we short $800.
So we need to come
I
up with
mean,
another.
without the
sponsor.
expenses, we have to pay, because we might have to.
But didn't we increase, pardon me, but didn't we increase the sponsorship to $500?
Yes, you did, but some of these
Yeah.
sponsors were confirmed beforehand.
Well,
So
I always
keep
have
it-
100, but some of people.
To
have
keep
paid
it
three.
uniform, it will go up on a sponsorship package that's being shared with the sponsors. The $500 goes into effect when we go back to Roberto Alonso. When they have a bigger crowd and then it makes sense. So up it and then we'll keep it at that throughout.
Okay. So,
You'll see that the last bingo that's confirmed
Second week in
here.
July, we cover.
we don't have
Oh,
food then,
we
we
don't.
need to find a restaurant, I guess, for the first.
We don't have catering confirmed anyways for the 1st of July, so we have a chance to look around.
Can we,
Are you gonna ask?
can we vote to
Catalan?
cancel that one and move them, ask them to move that money over to a different date?
That's like you guys.
Do what?
Has it been
No, no,
advertised?
Make a motion.
Wait a minute, I didn't understand. what you
Well,
said.
let her make the motion in a second and then we can discuss.
Okay,
I make a motion to cancel the July one that we only have $300 for, the bingo,
The July 12th.
the July 12th
Well,
bingo. Because we only have $300 and we have no money in our budget, we only have $300.
Right second.
let her
Wait a minute, we
finish.
gotta
Let her
discuss first.
finish.
so what you're saying is you want, go ahead.
I will move to cancel that July 12th and ask that the sponsor be given another bingo when we're having bingo and we have. So that that sponsor is contacted. That's my motion.
Yes, Jackie.
But have people already signed up? This is
You
the
need a
fifth.
second first.
Well, we can call them back and tell them, I mean,
Discuss.
that's not, I don't think that should hold you guys back from, if you do
We
want.
need a second.
You need a second, so do
I
that.
Pedro second.
Pedro second.
All right, now
You know, we're
it's
gonna be short.
discussion.
Keep
Huh?
on it.
We're gonna be short,
Yeah, it's true.
How much are you short?
$800.
So we're, she made the motion.
Yeah.
Then
We cancel.
all in favor?
Aye.
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 So it's canceled then, the
The
12th?
first, the 12th, yeah.
All right, July 12th bingo. Yeah, we took care of that for 3 days. Let me go back to that.
So you didn't cancel it. You moved
The 26th, yes, we do have a sponsor.
it. Cancel.
Yes, the 20. We have a sponsor for the.
Yeah, we have a sponsor for
Oh, the
the
26th.
26, yes. And August 23rd, we have sponsor too.
Can you just
Oh.
repeat? Sorry. Beth.
And what about the 9?
August 9th. We don't have it either.
Right now, they're only talking about.
We're trying to get July straightened out right now. Go ahead, Jessica.
For the minutes. You want, okay, so July 12th bingo was canceled. And then what was the sponsor?
And the sponsor,
Mental health.
the
for
$300 be moved
To the
to
26th.
another date.
To
To
another,
the next one, which would be the 26th.
but that one's fully sponsored,
That one's fully sponsored, so we'll.
No, but we need the $300.
300, okay, then move it to the 20.
To the July.
Now they're changing. No,
It's
no,
not that we just move it, it's okay.
Yeah. That's fine, I'll let them.
all right.
I hope
July 12th.
That's the same one we had.
$300 was moved to
Because I know
another
before
date,
you do it, I
to the next.
can't remember the name of it.
July.
Because he came in and I tried to talk to him. It was too late, it's too late. 26. And it was, I think they go.
No, it wasn't that long. We've had this one before.
Okay.
We
Yeah,
have too much money then on July 26th. Can we move it?
Pedro saying that we.
Because we have because we have the 300
we're short.
From July 12th,
from somebody. Hold on.
On July 12th.
July 12th.
No, but we also have another 300. Look at under that, there's another 300. Because we were asking him to build
That
300.
300 is for forums.
No, we have
the-
Vista. For 300, don't we?
The only two sponsors left that we have for bingo right now are Cano Health and Vista Funeral.
Right, so that's the 26th is Vista, and we have Sergio's doing all of the food. So we,
But we
need
still need
$300.
$300. Sorry, we need $300.
$300.
we have 300 right here. It's already
Oh,
here,
okay.
Vista is giving it. is what
Vista?
it- Vista's giving
Okay.
it, so that's why I'm saying, can we move it to August, wait, when's the August date? move the three
I
hundred.
guess that that's another discussion. Do you guys want to keep your?
When is the August,
9?
I think it's the 9th and the 20,
which is the one that we have a
26.
sponsor for?
the
23.
last one.
Okay, can we
23rd.
move it to that date so that we're all together on the dates?
But we move it, we only can move $300.
I understand,
So
but
we need $800 more.
no, because we have somebody for August, Pedro. We have somebody for August, correct?
August 9th, yeah, for August 23rd.
That's what I'm talking
August
about. August
23rd is
23rd.
fully paid for.
Okay.
They're sponsoring the whole thing.
But
So
the
we don't
9th,
need any money.
We don't need any money.
August the 9th, that's all we need.
But August 9th, we're gonna be in the same situation. We're gonna cancel, we're gonna.
Okay, if we
move to
cancel, then we start $300 left.
But we need to use it, is what I'm trying to say. Where do we want to move it to? We have to have September. We have nothing for September and
Nothing for
September is in
September.
this
As
year's
far as I
budget.
know, we have nothing for September.
Okay, so we move it to September's and hopefully we'll get a food sponsor for September.
We'll work on it.
Is that, can I make that motion?
Right.
We make the,
Exactly.
The motion.
hey, you have.
Pedro, you have to wait to make the motion.
I make the motion that we move the 300 that we have, which is Cano Health for July, move them to the September bingo,
Which date?
whichever,
I mean,
September
August,
ninth.
yeah.
no, we have. all the-
September 9th.
Okay.
September 9th.
Sep-
September 9th.
September 9th is not a bingo.
No,
September 9th is the forum.
It's the legal forum.
can we move them to the second week, what would have been the second bingo in September?
September
September
3rd.
27th.
Okay, September 27th.
September 27th.
13th.
I make the motion that we move, I'm clarifying my motion, that we move the Cano Health $300 that they contributed to the meet and eat, also known as the bingo, to the September 27th date / meet and eat bingo.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed.
And then we need one other motion. Or motion, or like, I'm just making so many.
What was the
motions
other-
today. I apologize.
No,
Anybody
we
who's
gotta get
watching.
it straightened out.
I'm just trying
We're
to.
more accountable for our money than we've ever been, so we need to.
All right, so I move to only have one bingo for July, August, and September.
I second.
Well,
Get this over.
I can say.
I second.
Who's second?
I heard two
Sarah.
first, but she can have it.
Okay, Sarah.
Second and third.
All in favor?
Aye.
We mentioned the dates
Yeah.
for those three.
Thank you.
Yes,
Because I need
we're gonna get that now. So we need the date. July is the 26th, right?
Wait, let I
July
all.
20.
All right,
Do you have the date?
Yes, so July 26th
I
would
was
be the
gonna say
one,
the date.
July 26th.
July 26th. And then in August, you
23rd.
had the 9th and the 23rd. But we're, yeah, we had the 9th and the 23rd. Let me see if
We
there's any
cancel the 9th.
sponsors.
We cancel the 9th, right?
Cancel the 9th. The 23rd is all paid for.
23rd.
23rd.
So the 23rd is where you guys have the food sponsor?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, so we're keeping the 23rd,
It's July.
August 23rd.
September.
September, we have nothing, so. It might be good to do a first. No,
Well,
then it's back to
September,
back.
you're moving the sponsor to
just said
September
September
27th, so you have to keep September 27th.
So we're keeping 27. All right,
So you're keeping
So
the
the next
second,
One in August.
July and August.
July 26th.
All right, everybody, don't talk out loud amongst yourselves. She's having to take notes.
I'm getting confused with the dates and I'm hearing.
Everybody be quiet and let Lourdes give it, because she's got her notes down. Go ahead.
okay. The only bingos that we are having is July 26th, August 23rd, and September 27th.
Thank you.
All
Yeah.
other bingos for those months have been canceled.
Thank you.
And are they here or elsewhere?
Well, Jackie, if they're not here, she said it's from September, excuse me, from September, starting in September, or the next, did you say the next one?
July 26th and August 23rd will be at Town Hall. September 27th, we start at Roberto.
Red Alonso, yeah.
The 23rd.
Yes, Nancy.
Thank you.
Now that we're
no
all
concept.
hopefully,
the-
now that we are all
Siempre le quisieron.
hopefully on the same page with,
the 23rd, okay.
No, we close.
now that we're all on the same page, of what the confirmed bingos are,
Uh-huh.
is there any way, because there was enough confusion with all the conversation, but is there any way of somehow posting this information, not just Eventbrite or whatever, but making some kind of an announcement to those who don't use Eventbrite and just check other communication regarding the town where, special thing regarding bingos, so that anybody seeing it, reading it on the town website, whatever, can we do that? Because there was enough confusion here, it's gonna get worse with the residents.
Well, town's gonna have to cancel the ones we've had for the first bingo.
I understand that,
So,
but
well, when you finish, so what we can do at each bingo announce. At the next bingo, I'm gonna announce, we're only gonna do one a month. That'll get around the town, but each bingo will keep announcing. When Betty cancels, she can let the people know then that it'll only be one a month. And that's gonna take up half of what we do.
But you're gonna do that at, let me finish, if you're gonna do that at a bingo where there's people present, and if they got questions, we're around to answer. I'm talking about anybody going online, the town website, Eventbrite, whomever, where they're going on a computer perhaps and trying to get it straight.
It won't be
I think
available.
Just announcing it. Put it on the town website somewhere, starting tomorrow, let's
Yes,
say.
when we update
That kind of
events,
thing.
we always update times and dates. So yes,
Okay,
they will
fine.
know.
That as long as that's in the back of my crazy head, because there are people who are not attending this particular Wednesday, and they're not gonna know for the future.
And if you're signing up for Eventbrite, it won't let you because there's nothing there. to Sign up for.
If they're able to.
And if
smartly
they call
do
Betty
that.
here, Betty can tell them. So we're kind
That's
of
what I said,
covered
there's
those.
got to be a
Yeah.
verbal place for them to go. If they're not using Eventbrite, them, including me.
Excuse me,
Thank you.
July 26th,
Uh-huh.
what are we celebrating? The Cuban Revolution?
Okay,
I'm
can we, I'm sorry,
Well, she needs to know for her declaration.
Good ask. All right, Lourdes, have you got any other questions?
no, I think we skipped AvMed partnership, because we did event request forms and then we went bingos.
So we also skipped Old Business B, Old Business E.
Oh,
Yes,
Jerry's
thank
squad.
you. And
Okay.
Great B.
I
And
just need to leave this.
And we didn't talk about Marlon. Oh, we missed the Marlon, I don't know. I'm
you guys
sorry.
can always defer to a next meeting, but
Yes.
but I just, whatever you guys want to cover now, we can. The AvMed partnership, I can talk about really quick. I included copies for all of you in your agenda. AvMed just wants to come in and become a sponsor. I told them that I would present this information to you guys. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I have the contact. I can give it to you. But they have like events they already do with other municipalities, and they just wanted to bring those ideas to you guys. So there's a copy of things that they do in case anything calls your attention.
Can we table that for the next meeting?
I think that would be, is that all right?
Yeah, I mean, really, that's pretty.
Yeah,
much
we'll
it.
table it for the next meeting. Let's get this meeting. We got a lot more to go here.
We need Jerry's squad.
Jerry Squad, so far, I have contacted all the ones previous that have used it, because they're the ones that usually shine up. They've all said yes. We were allowed to keep the old applications. And I weeded out, I shouldn't say weeded out, I discovered some have passed away, some have moved away. So I have given her, I think, have I given it to you yet, the number that we had?
You gave me an updated list, but while we're on the record, any application of Jerry Squad that is not in my hands, we cannot help. So just make sure that they are all.
I've given you everything I've had so far.
Okay.
Nobody's giving me any. I think I had one because I asked about Maria Mercedes Cortines, and you were gonna look to see if she was on. She said she had called town hall. I got it, I had it, she just
Somebody
signed it.
called town hall and we told them yes or no, so. I don't know
She
if it was
signed
her.
one for me and I got it at the house. I'll make sure you get it.
Okay.
So we have just so many that we can serve because we only have so many volunteers and we don't know how many volunteers we're gonna have. We usually can count on the council. And I think it was last time Tony brought some kids that helped, him, not small ones, but you know it. High school kids, and they helped put up with it. So it's hard to really tell how many we can have. Last time Claire I cut it off at 18. I think because she sent me an email saying, please close it because of that.
Right now, there's no cap. I'll check for you guys, and if there is, I'll send it to you guys.
Yeah, because I think we need a cap because we don't know, we never know how many sponsors we're gonna get and we can't say. I mean, Lewis came over to Celebration Point and did all the ones in Celebration Point, which is about 5. He did have a helper with him. So, and there's other places where you can do more than one. Some you can only, there's just one house here and one house there, you know, it's hard to manage. It's not hard to manage, it's hard to get the right people, like, if you can do 5, okay, you take these 5, you can do only 2, you 2. That's what we have to do to manage.
Remember the last one you and I here?
Yes, yeah.
Can the town send a confirmation email to those that have been signed up? So that there is no question whether or not they have been signed up?
We can, but my understanding is that most seniors don't.
Email.
Well, if they have an email.
Okay, yeah, that's
I
fine.
mean,
The one
I don't know,
I don't
always
think
get-
happened.
I always get feedback from the committee saying, hey, how can we do things that are not online because the seniors won't see it? But if they have an email on the application, we can send it.
and the only reason I say that then, because the ones that were chatting on neighborhood, they clearly have emails. Because they were chatting up a storm on the neighborhood chat. So that way they can get an email and maybe if they're listening, they can put it out that in fact they are signed up and they have confirmation from the town because their complaint is, I don't know for a fact if I'm on. So if we can at least make them happy. and
One
they
that
get
I
an
have got the application from, they know they're confirmed. But I can go back, I can give them something, and give me, type up something simple, I'll go over and deliver it to them, because they do not have, I know they don't have it. I mean, Eventbrite,
If there's any
or
on
email,
the,
they
if
don't
there's,
have email.
if there's any on the application, we'll send it to them.
The one that was complaining.
There you have to vote and you can vote.
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
I need 2 votes.
Okay,
Yes,
please.
but I'm waiting.
I mean, that's where we stand now, we may not even end up using Jerry Squad, I hope we don't have to, but if we don't have to, this is where we stand right now. Yes, Nancy.
Okay, I have a question regarding Very Squad and the process. Is it my understanding that we have, I remember 18, you used that number.
Yeah,
We have 18 people signed up for Jerry Squad.
we have.
No, we had.
You
But
have,
Once
some
upon
of
a
them have
time.
passed away and some have moved. I
Okay.
don't, I
so
think I have.
do we
about
have a
12.
list? Do we have a list of anybody confirmed for this upcoming thing?
I do.
So we have a confirmed
I'm gonna
list,
give it
and
to
you
her.
said, where did I get the number 18 from then?
It used to
How
be
many
capped
used
at
to be?
18. It
It
used to
Alright,
be
what is
capped.
it now?
She just said.
Okay.
Don't know.
So the ones that you're concerned about and want to contact and whatever, to remind them to get it done, if we can just,
It's not to remind them to get it done. It's
That's
to
all
send
been
them a
done.
confirmation that we have their application on file.
okay. So those confirmed signups, how many are there?
I have to go back and check for you guys, because
Okay.
there's some that have come in, so we don't have I can't give you a head count.
And we're not accepting any more?
Yes, we are right now.
We are. So we need
I don't know
to,
what is the captain?
That's what I said. I will check for you guys. and I
Oh,
will
okay,
send
I'm
you
all
guys.
right, so before we find out, once we find out what the cap is, Dottie, now that's between you and I, so there's
No,
no
I'll send it to the entire committee, so you're all aware of what the cap is.
of what the cap is.
If they're there,
Now,
yes.
do you need any volunteers to make any phone calls or whatever? To ask any people, do you want to be a part of it? So we get this list done, because if we got another hurricane coming in a week.
But Nancy, I don't know who they are. I've contacted all the ones previous. It's out on Eventbrite, she's got those. So I don't know if
So
there's
that's what
anybody
I'm
else.
saying,
Yeah,
put something out now if you want to be added to Jerry's list.
we don't want 100 coming in
Squad.
either.
No, I mean, you guys are welcome to announce it. Yes.
You're welcome.
People.
We can put it in the Laker if you want. That's the only other
Yes.
way I know.
Whatever, that's my point. How do you want to contact people? Let them even know what their squad is. And if we can accommodate them and we get our maximum, we've done our due diligence in notifying people that it exists, what the process is, it's still open, it's not open.
I understand what you're saying.
We don't, you guys, okay. We've already used our social media, our website to update
Okay.
saying, hey, we're accepting application. Dottie has reached out to whoever she knows. You guys are welcome to reach out to whoever you know, letting them know about it, but that's all really we can do. to
And when we
let
reach
people know.
out, we want to be able to say, if you want to,
Sign up, there's
Sign up.
applications online, or they can come to town hall and grab one here.
And town hall needs to tell us what our deadline is, how many we can have.
Well,
Yeah.
not town hall, I am gonna tell you, I'm
Oh,
gonna send
well.
you guys an email informing you all if there's a cap.
We need a cap.
And if there's a cap and we need to close
We
it off, we will obviously
I just
update it
wanna know
online.
there's a process.
We do
of
need,
what
it.
to
we
tell
do need a
us.
cap, because we don't want, if everybody starts calling and getting people involved, that's too many. And then we have to go back and say, I'm sorry,
Well, I
we
mean, if
need a
you
cap
guys,
first.
again, I haven't been told there's a cap, I was gonna double check, but if you guys wanna put a cap, tell me the number right now, and we'll leave it at that.
And not only that, you need to
The
reach
cap
out to
counts on how
whatever.
many people volunteer.
So then you do need me to check, okay,
Yeah,
then
that's what
I'm
I'm
gonna go
saying.
back and check for you guys.
Yeah. I
Don't it- if
Yeah,
we
you're,
have to
but hold
vote
on, let me
something,
finish.
have to go.
Let me finish. You need to, you need to.
I got 11 on one. That's it.
Sorry.
No, we're just done. I know, y'all wanna go, and I'm
Just
just going
one
through the
second.
process.
Let her and I handle it right now. She's gotta find out from the town what the cap is. And once we find out that, if we already
I
have that many,
understand that
then we
part,
don't
but
have to
you're
do
leaving
anymore.
out, you're leaving out the volunteers
no, why
that
not?
may.
What I'm saying, I'm asked, I
Yeah,
just,
you're letting me finish.
I know
I'm
what
done,
you're
Dottie.
saying though, but I've already asked her about the town giving us a cap. How many volunteers do they have? How many did we have? Are they gonna be the same ones that will volunteer again? She's gotta check that out through the town. I don't have that information. And then we could go and see, can we open it up for more? We've gotta have that information before we ask any more people to come in. You know,
So
or
we need to let people know, we plan to volunteer to
Yes,
help.
I mean,
They don't even know the program exists, so they don't know enough to call in and volunteer.
she's gonna check with the.
Well,
with the
that's
one
all
who
I'm
has-
confirming. That's the only part you left out.
Dottie, I think there's a communication problem. What she is saying, and I'm gonna try and clarify here, is she's saying, can we put something out so that people know they can volunteer to put up the shutters? So that more volunteers can come in? Can we put it on social media? Can we put it in the
It's
Laker?
already
Say
out.
that
on
if you
the
want to
website.
volunteer, not to, okay.
It's on the website and it's in our social
It's
media.
everywhere.
Okay.
On the website. On the website. Oh, that's all I wanna know to tell people.
People, I have to leave, so.
Me
when I
too.
go to the-
Okay, we never,
Crazy.
Okay, so-
Wait a minute, she needs her notes, so let everybody please be quiet.
we never finished the motion to change the legal forum dates. That wasn't clarified.
Or the
so-
location, I believe.
Or the location. So are we gonna, what are we gonna do with this?
For the
The
legal,
legal form.
Right.
We wanted
September
to
9th.
have it at town hall. I think we said, I don't know.
No, we, to move the Saturday date to the week. We didn't finish the motion.
Okay, who was the one that was working, Nancy?
you were asking to move it. Are we
The legal form.
Okay, so I'm asking to move the legal forum date. We need a date.
Make a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Second,
Move the legal forum date.
and I second.
Okay, now discussion on
Yes, Larry.
when.
If I recall, when I first started a few years ago, the reason that it was on Saturday, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, the ones that have been here longer than me, is that family members then could come,
Wanted to attend.
wanted to attend to the legal forum to see how they could take care of their family members, and they can't attend during the week because they're working. So they were asking, could we do it on a weekend? That's what I recall.
Okay. I don't
Correct.
remember, that's, you're probably right then.
So I think that's a great idea because
Where it is.
if anybody in the middle of all of that, like I am, I think that's a great idea. Can we do it on a Saturday? What we need is.
Right now, you guys have a tentative hold for a Saturday,
September
a
9th.
Saturday, yeah,
Or
in
September
town hall.
Okay, so.
What date?
The ninth.
And that's
September
dependent-
ninth.
that's
So you have to,
dependent
we all
on-
have to, we have to vote and say,
September.
Is
No.
it good?
We're not
Okay.
moving it.
So no.
Okay.
No, we're not moving.
You don't have to make a motion to not move it. I'll just keep it as is.
Okay, so motion failed. So September 9th. Let me clarify, September 9th, legal forum,
At town hall.
that's a weekend,
Yes.
town hall, that's good, all right,
I'm
thank you.
moving out of Miami. Lakes.
What time does that start?
I have to check. I'll send you guys the invite.
Details.
I'll send
to
you
be
guys that.
announced.
We need a motion to approve the event request form. My understanding, I'll said yes, the one that we just turned in for the rest of the town hall meetings. Do we need a motion for that? I'll.
Yeah, we can just go, if we can direct everyone back to pretty much what Lourdes discussed, that she was going through the form. If anybody wants to make a motion to approve. what was discussed.
Motion
we-
to approve it.
Can we? Oh, for me, the form, oh, for me to be the person that.
No, the form, because ideally you bring
Okay.
this in front of the committee.
Okay.
And I'll send you guys all copies.
Okay, I'll make the motion.
Okay.
All in
I
favor?
second the motion.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Did we vote? Did we vote?
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, okay.
Who's on first?
I moved to adjourn.
No,
No, we got more stuff on here. It's like, we just got through old business. We gotta do the new business.
You're gonna have to defer.
no, let's-
You guys are gonna have to vote to defer.
We did, Dottie, we did new business.
Oh, you just covered the bingos at town hall.
We covered the bingos at town hall, the event forum, and we tabled at. So motion to adjourn,
I second.
all in favor?
Time.
10:35.
Our meetings are not normal this long. We-
No, no. Yeah, but you know what?
No, this meeting was below.
No,